Blessed are the righteous, the lights and the shadow. In their blood, the Maker's will is written.
So you returned from the wilds. Have you been successful?
We have.
Good. I've had the Circle mages preparing. With the blood you've retrieved, we can begin the joining immediately.
Maybe we should tell him about Morrigan and her mother.
There was a woman at the tower, and her mother had the scrolls. They were both very... odd.
Were they wilder folk?
I don't think so. They might be apostates. Mages hiding from the Chantry.
I know you were once a Templar, Alistair, but Chantry business is not ours. We have the scrolls. Let us focus on the joining.
And if we have second thoughts?
Let me be very clear on that point. You are not volunteers. Whether you were conscripted or recruited, you were chosen because you are needed. There is no turning back now. You must gather your courage for what comes next.
Courage? How much danger are we in?
I will not lie. We Grey Wardens pay a heavy price to become what we are. Fate may decree that you pay your price now, rather than later.
You're saying this ritual could kill us?
As could any darkspawn you might face in battle. You would not have been chosen, however, if I did not think you had a chance to survive.
Is that why the joining is so secret?
If only such secrecy were unnecessary, and all understood the necessity of such sacrifice. Sadly, that will never be so.
Let's go then. I'm anxious to see this joining now.
I agree. Let's have it done.
Then let us begin. Alistair, take them to the old temple.
The more I hear about this joining, the less I like it.
Are you blubbering again?
Why all these damn tests? Have I not earned my place?
Maybe it's tradition. Maybe they're just trying to annoy you.
Calm down. There's nothing we can do about it now.
I only know that my wife is in Highover with a child on the way. If they had warned me, it just doesn't seem fair.
Would you have come if they'd warned you? Maybe that's why they don't. The Wardens do what they must, right?
Including sacrificing us?
I'd sacrifice a lot more if I knew it would end the Blight.
We don't know that, Davith.
Don't we? The Grey Wardens have saved the world from Darkspawn before. I'd say they know better than anyone what it takes. You saw those Darkspawns tonight. Wouldn't you die to protect your pretty wife from them?
I am...
Maybe you'll die. Maybe we'll all die. If nobody stops the Darkspawn, we'll die for sure.
He makes a good point, Jory.
Yes, Sir Knight. Try not to wet your trousers until the ritual starts.
I've just never faced a foe I could not engage with my blade.
At last we come to the joining. The Grey Wardens were founded during the First Blight, when humanity stood on the verge of annihilation. So it was that the first Grey Wardens drank of Darkspawn blood, and mastered their taint.
We're going to drink the blood of those creatures.
As the first Grey Wardens did before us, as we did before you. This is the source of our power and our victory.
Those who survive the joining become immune to the taint. We can sense it in the Darkspawn and use it to slay the Archdemon.
How likely is this ritual to kill us?
Since the beginning, the Grey Wardens have been charged with finding those who are strong enough to attempt the joining and recruiting them into our ranks for the good of all. Not all who drink the blood will survive, and those who do are forever changed. This is why the joining is a secret. It is the price we pay. We speak only a few words prior to the joining, but these words have been said since the first. Alistair, if you would.
Join us, brothers and sisters. Join us in the shadows where we stand vigilant. Join us as we carry the duty that cannot be forsworn. And should you perish, know that your sacrifice will not be forgotten. And that one day, we shall join you.
Davith, step forward.
Maker's breath.
I am sorry, Davith. Step forward, Jory.
But I have a wife, a child. Had I known...
There is no turning back.
No! You ask too much. There is no glory in this.
I am sorry. But the joining is not yet complete. You are called upon to submit yourself to the taint for the greater good. From this moment forth, you are a Grey Warden. It is finished. Welcome.
2 more deaths. In my joining, only one of us died, but it was horrible. I'm glad at least one of you made it through.
How do you feel?
Nothing you said prepared me for that.
Such is what it takes to be a Grey Warden.
Sir Jory.
Jory was warned that there was no turning back, as were you all. When he went for his blade, however, he left me no choice. It brought me no pleasure to end his life. The Blight demands sacrifices from us all. Thankfully, you stand here as proof. They are not all made in vain.
Did you have dreams? I had terrible dreams after my joining.
Such dreams come when you begin to sense the Darkspawn, as we all do. That and many other things can be explained in the months to come.
Before I forget, there is one last part to your joining. We take some of that blood and put it in a pendant. Something to remind us of those who didn't make it this far.
Take some time. When you're ready, I'd like you to accompany me to a meeting with the King.
What kind of meeting?
The King is discussing strategy for the upcoming battle. I am not sure why he has requested your presence.
I still feel in shock.
Death is never easy to accept, especially when it arrives in such a brutal fashion. Honor your comrades if you wish, but know that we must press forward. Always we must press forward. The meeting is to the west, down the stairs. Please attend as soon as you're able.
If the King wants to see you and Duncan, you probably shouldn't keep him waiting. He might get mad, start crying. You'll feel bad and, well, it won't be pretty.
Loghain, my decision is final. I will stand by the Grey Wardens in this assault.
You risk too much, Cailan. The Darkspawn Horde is too dangerous for you to be playing hero on the front lines.
If that's the case, perhaps we should wait for the Orlesian forces to join us after all.
I must repeat my protest to your fool notion that we need the Orlesians to defend ourselves.
It is not a fool notion. Our arguments with the Orlesians are a thing of the past, and you will remember who is king.
How fortunate Marek did not live to see his son ready to hand Ferelden over to those who enslaved us for a century.
Then our current forces will have to suffice, won't they? Duncan, are your men ready for battle?
They are, Your Majesty.
I understand congratulations are in order.
I can't say I feel that special.
Oh, but you are. Every Grey Warden is needed now more than ever.
Your fascination with glory and legends will be your undoing, Cailan. We must attend to reality.
Fine. Speak your strategy. The Grey Wardens and I draw the Darkspawn into charging our lines, and then?
You will alert the tower to light the beacon, signaling my men to charge from cover.
To flank the Darkspawn, I remember. This is the Tower of Ishal in the ruins, yes? Well, who shall light this beacon?
I have a few men stationed there. It's not a dangerous task, but it is vital.
Then we should send our best. Send Alistair and the new Grey Warden to make sure it's done.
If it's not dangerous, I can do it myself.
No. It's best that you both go.
I won't be fighting the battle then.
We need the beacon. Without it, Loghain's men won't know when to charge.
You see? Glory for everyone.
You rely on these Grey Wardens too much. Is that truly wise?
Enough of your conspiracy theories, Loghain. Grey Wardens battle the Blight no matter where they're from.
Your Majesty, you should consider the possibility of the Archdemon appearing.
There have been no signs of any dragons in the wilds.
Isn't that what your men are here for, Duncan?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Your Majesty, the tower and its beacon are unnecessary. The
We
circle
will
of
not
Magi...
trust any lives to your spells, mage. Save them for the Darkspawn.
Enough! This plan will suffice. The Grey Wardens will light the beacon.
Thank you, Loghain. I cannot wait for that glorious moment. The Grey Wardens battle beside the King of Ferelden to stem the tide of evil.
Yes, Cailan. A glorious moment for us all.
You heard the plan. You and Alistair will go to the Tower of Ishal and ensure the beacon is lit.
What? I won't be in the battle.
This is by the King's personal request, Alistair. If the beacon is not lit, Tern Loghain's men won't know when to charge.
So he needs 2 Grey Wardens standing up there holding the torch, just in case, right?
I agree with Alistair. We should be in the battle.
That is not your choice. If King Cailan wishes Grey Wardens to ensure the beacon is lit, then Grey Wardens will be there. We must do whatever it takes to destroy the Darkspawn, exciting or no.
I get it, I get it. Just so you know, if the King ever asks me to put on a dress and dance to Remigold, I'm drawing the line. Darkspawn or no.
Way to take a stand, Alistair.
I have my dignity. Well, some.
I don't know. It could be a good distraction.
Me shimmying down the Darkspawn line? Sure. We could kill them while they roll around laughing.
I think I'd like to see that.
For you, maybe. But it has to be a pretty dress. I happen to be quite fetching in a dress.
The tower is on the other side of the gorge from the king's camp, the way we came when we arrived. You'll need to cross the gorge and head through the gate and up to the tower entrance. From the top, you'll overlook the entire valley.
Where will you be?
I will be fighting beside the king with the rest of the Grey Wardens. Again, at his request. We will signal you when the time is right. Alistair will know what to look for.
Can we join the battle afterwards?
Stay with the Terran's men and guard the tower. If you are needed, we will send word.
What if the archdemon appears?
We soil our drawers, that's what.
If it does, leave it to us. I want no heroics from either of you.
Will this be more dangerous than the Tan suggested?
Of course. Even the best laid plans go awry. So do what you must. I trust you both.
Just not enough to actually fight with the rest of you.
There will be plenty of battles, Alistair. Be patient.
I know what I have to do.
Then I must join the others. From here, you two are on your own. Remember, you are both Grey Wardens. I expect you to be worthy of that title.
Duncan, may the Maker watch over you.
May he watch over us all.
Let's just get to the tower. It may not be the most glamorous job, but we'd best not dawdle.
Greetings. Are you one of the Grey Wardens that went into the wilds? Did you happen to see any white flowers?
Yes. In fact, I have one of them with me.
I don't know for sure that the flower will aid my poor hounds, but it's worth trying. I have, let's see, 20 silver to offer as a reward for it.
That should be fine.
Thank you for your assistance, then. Perhaps we won't lose as many hounds as I'd feared.
Alistair, new girl. Over here. Name's Aiden.
Lilias Cousland. Though I go by Lily. Pleased to meet you.
Cousland, huh? I think I met your brother. Fergus?
Yes. How is he? I haven't seen him since I've gotten here. I was told he's been scouting.
He seemed well enough last I saw, but obviously he didn't know about what's happened.
You've heard, then?
The king knows, so naturally everyone does. Most of the people here are going to High Ever after the battle to bring that rat to justice.
Not us.
Not us. Our duty is the Darkspawn. You have our sympathies, though.
Thanks.
A few drinks might take your mind off it. You don't want to be all depressed before the battle.
I don't know if I want to be drunk, either.
It should wear off by that time. Come on. Unless you're too dainty to handle it.
A challenge, then.
Then I saluted and marched away to thunderous applause. Not often you see Templars and mages agree on something. Naturally, that something is at my expense.
Sounds like you found the solution to world peace.
Forget wars. More people should just forget their armor. Problem solved. The look on that woman's face! Honestly, with his experience with women, you'd have thought he was born from a man's arse and lived in a cave his whole life. It was not that bad.
Alistair, the first time we met, you almost immediately brought up the topic of my gender, then tripped over your words so hard I'm surprised you didn't injure yourself.
What can I say? I'm nimble.
So, what about you, Alistair?
As I said, I was trained as a Templar before Duncan recruited me about 6 months ago. The Chantry raised me, and becoming a Templar was a decision made for me a long time ago. Duncan saw I wasn't happy, and figured my training against mages could double for fighting Darkspawn. Now, here I stand, a proud Grey Warden. The Grand Cleric wouldn't have let me go if Duncan never forced the issue. I'll always be grateful to him.
You didn't want to join the Chantry.
It just wasn't for me. I believe in the Maker well enough, but I never wanted to devote my life to the Chantry. I spent years in that Chantry, hopelessly resigned to my fate. Duncan was the first person who cared what I wanted. He risked a lot of trouble with the Grand Cleric to help me.
Maybe Duncan thought you'd be useful.
Or maybe he just happens to be a good man.
I take it you're not used to this.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, if you weren't a warden, you'd be over there, with King Qwinn and the other nobles.
Yeah, I guess it's strange, but it's hardly unwelcome.
I thought you were conscripted.
Conscripted, huh? Duncan rarely needs to do that, I hear.
I wanted to be a warden, but when I finally had the option, things were different. To become what I wanted, I had to leave behind everything I've ever known. I had to leave my parents to die. This just isn't the way I wanted this.
I'm sorry, it can't be easy for you. You could still sit with the nobles. Weren't you engaged to the king at one point? Wait, really? I thought he was betrothed to Honora since they were children.
That's a complicated story.
Come on, it's your turn for story time.
Well, like you said, Qwinn and Honora were betrothed most of their life. But at some point, some of the nobles started to disapprove. Tem Loghain had gained his title. He was a commoner before. And, you know, people are picky about the royal line. Some of the more conservative nobles pushed King Merrick to consider a different option. My mother and I had already taken advantage of this. With my birthright, or lack thereof, a marriage with the king was the only way for me not to lose social status. And I wanted to be queen. At some point, King Merrick agreed.
What changed then?
King Merrick disappeared at sea, and Qwinn had to take the throne. My father had issues with the engagement from the beginning. He's a romantic, you see. He and my mother had quite the love story.
They made a song about that, didn't they? The Soldier and the Sea-Wolf?
Yeah, that's the one. Anyways, he wanted the same for me. He thought I didn't really understand what I was giving up. Not to mention, I was only 16. He thought I was too young for that. So, he called it off. Then Qwinn married Honora. That's all there is to tell, really.
So you're not a romantic then? Love doesn't appeal to you?
It didn't. But then, Darren, I'd rather not talk about that, actually. Just one more thing I lost in house attack. Hang on. What's that?
Take your positions. It's time.
The plan will work, Your Majesty.
Of course it will. The Blight ends here.
For Ferelden!
Let's cross the bridge and get to the Tower of Ishal.
Push them back! You will fall! I'm in need of help!
Make it help us. They're everywhere.
You're Grey Wardens, aren't you? The tower, it's been taken.
What are you talking about, man? Taken how?
The Darkspawn came up through the lower chambers. They're everywhere. Most of our men are dead.
Then we have to get to the beacon and light it ourselves.
Grey Wardens. What is it? Oh no. You have the taint. Badly too. I am Lina Mahariel of the Dalish Elves. My keeper sent me here to join the Wardens. It's the only way to stop the taint from killing me. I'm sorry, but we don't have time for this now. Help us, and I give you my word. We will bring you to our leader after the battle. Then I shall aid you now, Wardens. Creatures, you look like... It's like looking into a mirror.
We need to get to the beacon. The king needs Loghain to charge.
Have you faced Darkspawn before? No. I contracted the taint from a kitten.
I've only fought them once up close. And that was before the battles here started, which Duncan has kept me out of so far. Tell me, did you find them as monstrous as I did?
I don't know. What did you think?
I've read so much, but it just can't prepare you.
Must gain the advantage.
Hideous. Dangerous. But
You'll be at an advantage then. Most new recruits have never even seen Darkspawn.
your son!
There, more of the fiends ahead.
Andrew, guide me.
Cut them down!
They must.
Namalasa.
If you insist.
On them!
Careful. Watch out.
That's a lot.
Is everyone all right?
Stand fast. We fight for Ferelden.
man saw break.
Look over there! Quickly! We must fight! Don't let them get It is begun.
All right. Let's
go! If you insist.
Dreadwolf take you! What happened to this not being dangerous? Creators have mercy on us.
This is it! This is it! Let's make this quick!
As you say.
Yes, son!
Yes.
Damn you!
I think we work well together.
A giant hole. Well, shit. Just a guess. But I might know how these Darkspawn got here.
I shall do it.
Let's
not there!
Go down!
Come, let us in!
Take his breath. What are these Darkspawn doing ahead of the rest of the Horde? There wasn't supposed to be any resistance here.
You could try telling them they're in the wrong place.
Right, because clearly this is all just a misunderstanding. We'll laugh about this later.
Why attack the tower at all? Unless they know the plan.
Now that's a scary thought. They couldn't know about the plan. How? They're not that smart, are they?
Aren't you complaining you wouldn't get to fight?
Hey, you're right. I guess there is a silver lining here if you think about it.
There's no point whining about it. We have fighting to do.
Good point. I need to stay focused. Kill first, ask questions later. At any rate, we need to hurry. We need to get up to the top of the tower and light the signal fire in time. Taron Loghain will be waiting for the signal. Loghain better be ready to charge as soon as we light the signal. The king is depending on us.
They certainly know how to decorate a place. Creators. You shouldn't really have such gruesome tastes. I said they decorated it. I didn't say I liked their choice. I wouldn't know. You're the first humans I've ever met. I know the Davids are isolated. But you've never even met a human? Not on amicable terms, no. Just bandits. Or angry men. I can't say this is much better.
The Darkspawn have sensed us.
That lever over there! Release the hound!
I'm on it.
So many!
As you say.
is this thing?
Now we do battle!
Take that! Let's take this down! Die! Under!
Wir eine Sally.
The beacon is over here. We've surely missed the signal. Let's light it quickly before it's too late.
Warden, I can't stand anymore. Mahariel, stay with her, Alistair, while I light the signal.
Sound the retreat.
But what about the king? Should we not...
Do as I command.
Pull out! All of you, let's move!
your eyes finally open. Mother shall be pleased.
Where am I?
Back in the wilds, of course. I am Morrigan, lest you have forgotten, and I have just bandaged your wounds. You are welcome, by the way. How does your memory fare? Do you remember Mother's rescue?
She rescued me? From the tower?
Mother managed to save you and your friend, though 'twas a close call. What is important is that you both live. The man who was to respond to your signal quit the field. The Darkspawn won your battle. Those he abandoned were massacred. Your friend, he is not taking it well.
What happened to the Grey Wardens? To the king?
All dead. Your friend has veered between denial and grief since Mother told him.
My friend? You mean Alistair?
The suspicious dim-witted one who was with you before, yes. He is outside by the fire. Mother asked to see you when you awoke.
Why does your mother want to see me?
I do not know. She rarely tells me her plans.
Were my injuries severe?
Yes, but I expect you shall be fine. The Darkspawn did nothing Mother could not heal.
What about Alistair? Is he all right?
He is, as you are. I suppose it would be unkind to say he is being childish.
Very unkind. Those were his friends.
And you think they would encourage his blubbering? If so, they are not the sort of Grey Wardens the legends note.
I have some questions, if you don't mind.
I do not mind. Take your time.
Are we safe here? Where are the Darkspawn?
We are safe, for the moment. Mother's magic keeps the Darkspawn away. Once you leave, 'tis uncertain what will happen. The Horde has moved on, so you might avoid it.
Why did your mother save us?
I wonder at that myself. But she tells me nothing. Perhaps you were the only ones she could reach. I would have rescued your king. A king would be worth a much higher ransom than you.
Coin is important to you. Out here.
Who says I would ransom for coin? Gold has its uses, I suppose, but power buys far more.
I happen to be nobility myself, you know.
I stand corrected.
Not entirely. My family is dead, and I'm a new member of the Wardens. The best ransom you'd get from me is from Hal, and only because he wants me dead. So, I expect a king's ransom would be much, much higher.
What a sensible attitude. Mother is seldom sensible, however.
How did she manage to rescue us?
She turned into a giant bird and plucked the two of you from atop the tower, one in each talon. If you do not believe that tale, then I suggest you ask Mother yourself. She may even tell you.
Are there any survivors besides us?
Only stragglers that are long gone. You would not want to see what is happening in that valley now.
Why? What's happening?
Are you sure you want me to describe it?
I wouldn't have asked if I didn't.
I had a good view of the battlefield. 'Tis a grisly scene. There are bodies everywhere, and Darkspawn swarm them, feeding, I think. They also look for survivors and drag them back down beneath the ground. I cannot say why.
So, those survivors could be rescued?
If you are willing to run into the midst of the Horde, perhaps.
Why did 10 Loghain abandon the king?
I do not know who this Loghain even is. Perhaps ask Mother of it.
I think I've asked enough questions.
I agree. 'Tis time you speak with Mother, then be on your way. You must speak to Mother, then be gone. You have an army of Darkspawn to avoid, and 'twould be best to get an early start.
Thank you for helping me, Morrigan.
You were welcome. Though Mother did most of the work, I am no healer. I will stay and make something to eat.
See, here is your fellow Grey Warden. You worry too much, young man.
You're alive. I thought you were dead for sure.
Afraid you were going to be left alone.
Duncan's dead. The Grey Wardens. Even the king. They're all dead. Oh, this doesn't seem real. If it weren't for Morrigan's mother, we'd be dead on top of that tower.
Do not talk about me as if I am not present, lad.
I didn't mean... But what do we call you? You've never told us your name?
Names are pretty, but useless. The chastened folk call me Flemeth. I suppose it will do.
The Flemeth? From the legends? Daveth was right. You're the Witch of the Wilds, aren't you?
And what does that mean? I know a bit of magic, and it has served you both well, has it not?
If you're Flemeth, then you must be really old and powerful.
Must I? Age and power are relative. It depends on who is asking. Compared to you, yes, on both counts.
Then why didn't you save Duncan? He was our leader.
I am sorry for your Duncan, but your grief must come later. In the dark shadows before you take vengeance, as my mother once said. Duty must come now.
I suppose we should thank you.
If you know what is good for you, I suppose you should.
We can't be safe this far south. Where are all the Darkspawn?
The largest part of the Horde has moved on. We are safe enough for now. Old Flemeth knows a thing or two about hiding. The longer you are here, the less that is true, however. These things will notice you eventually.
Why did you save us?
Well, we cannot have all the Grey Wardens dying at once, can we? Someone has to deal with these Darkspawn.
How can we repay you?
All that I wish you to do is what you are meant to do. It has always been the Grey Warden's duty to unite the lands against the Blight. Or did that change when I wasn't looking?
What can we do with only 2 of us?
If you think small numbers make you helpless, you are already defeated. Of course, someone else will realize what needs to be done and act in time and with sufficient sense to solve the problem. No need for you.
I never said we wouldn't try.
But we were fighting the Darkspawn. The king had nearly defeated them. Why would Loghain do this?
Now that is a good question. Men's hearts hold shadows darker than any tainted creature. Perhaps he believes the Blight is an army he can outmaneuver. Perhaps he does not see that the evil behind it is the true threat.
The Archdemon.
What is this Archdemon?
It is said that long ago, the Maker sent the old gods of the ancient Tevinter Imperium to slumber in prisons deep beneath the surface. An Archdemon is an old god awakened and tainted by Darkspawn. Believe that or not, history says it's a fearsome and immortal thing, and only fools ignore history.
Then we need to find this Archdemon. Cut off the snake's head. That's how you put it, didn't you, Alistair?
By ourselves? No Grey Warden has ever defeated a Blight without the army of a half-dozen nations at his back. Not to mention... I don't know how.
How to kill the Archdemon, or how to raise an army? It seems to me those are 2 different questions, Have the Wardens no allies these days?
I don't know. Duncan said that the Grey Wardens of Orlais had been called, and Al-Eamon would never stand for this, surely.
We should contact them then.
Kaelin already summoned them. They'll come if they can, but I expect Loghain has already taken steps to stop them. We must assume they won't arrive in time.
What could the Ten hope to gain by betraying the king?
The throne? He's the Queen's father. Still, I can't see how he'll get away with murder.
You speak as if he would be the first king to gain his throne that way. Grow up, boy.
I don't know anything about this. Alistair is the real Grey Warden here, not me.
All Grey Wardens in Ferelden are gone. Except for us. I've lost everyone. For the love of the Maker, don't back out on me now.
I'm just saying, as it stands now, this is a suicide mission with no hope of success.
Oh, it must be suicide now. My, but that is a lot to ask after all. If there is better motivation for doing what is right, I have yet to see it.
Duncan was like a father to me. I won't let his death be in vain.
My brother is out there somewhere. I need to find him.
Somewhere in the wilds. Now that would be quite the feat.
And what about everyone else? We can't let all their deaths be in vain.
Aw, To have lost so much, it would be difficult not to cling to hope, however faint. You two have much in common.
I can't do this on my own. We have to do something.
Will you help us against this blight, Flemeth?
Me? I am just an old woman who lives in the wilds. I know nothing of blights and darkspawn.
Well, whatever Loghain's insanity, he obviously thinks the Darkspawn are a minor threat. We must warn everyone this isn't the case.
And who will believe you? Unless you think to convince this Loghain of his mistake.
He just betrayed his own king. If Arl Eamon knew what he did at Ostagar, he would be the first to call for his execution.
Arl Eamon? The Earl of Redcliffe? You think he'd believe us over the Tan?
I suppose. Arl Eamon wasn't at Ostagar. He still has all his men. And he was Cailan's uncle. I know him. He's a good man, respected in the Landsmeet. Of course, we could go to Redcliffe and appeal to him for help.
Keep in mind, Loghain was also an honourable man. The hero of Riverdane.
The Arl would never do what Tan Loghain did. I know him too well.
I think it's an excellent idea. Nonetheless.
Such determination. How intriguing.
I still don't know if Arl Eamon's help would be enough. He can't defeat the Darkspawn horde by himself.
I know most of the nobility. Will anyone see the danger the blight poses?
You could wait for the archdemon to make its appearance. I imagine that might be convincing.
It's been centuries since the last blight. Nobody will take it seriously until it's too late.
We need more wardens. More experienced ones.
I don't know how to contact them, or if they're even on their way. We need to do something now.
Other than contacting Arl Eamon, it really doesn't seem like there's much we can do.
No, I can't accept that. We can't just give up.
You have more at your disposal than you think.
Wait, what about the treaties?
See? There is a smart lass.
Of course! The treaties. Grey Wardens can demand aid from dwarves, elves, mages, and other places. They're obligated to help us during a blight.
I may be old, but dwarves, elves, mages, this Arl Eamon, and who knows what else. This sounds like an army to me.
So can we do this? Go to Redcliffe and these other places and build an army?
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Take one step at a time, but it is not so bad to know where those steps will lead you, yes?
I just doubt it will be as easy as that.
And when is it ever?
It's always been the Grey Warden's duty to stand against a blight. And right now, we're the Grey Wardens.
So you are set then, ready to be Grey Wardens.
I'd be happy with just staying alive.
Come to think of it, that would be nice.
Well, don't expect me to do everything.
Thank you for everything, Flemeth.
No, thank you. You are the Grey Wardens here, not I.
I don't suppose there's anything else you can offer?
Now that you mention it, I do have one more thing to offer.
The stew is bubbling, Mother dear. Shall we have 2 guests for the eve, or none?
The Grey Wardens are leaving shortly, girl. And you will be joining them.
Such a shame. What?
You heard me, girl. The last time I looked, you had ears.
Thank you, but if Morgan doesn't wish to join us...
Her magic will be useful. Even better, she knows the wilds and how to get past the horde.
Have I no say in this?
You have been itching to get out of the wilds for years. Here is your chance. As for you, Wardens, consider this repayment for your lives.
Was this your idea all along?
Pardon me, but I had the impression that you two needed assistance. Whatever the form.
Will she be useful?
Oh, she is. You could use some magic, and my Morrigan's as cunning as a root lizard.
Not to look a gift horse in the mouth, but won't this add to our problems? Out of the wilds, she's an apostate.
If you do not wish help from us illegal mages, young man, perhaps I should have left you on that tower.
Point taken.
Let her guide you out of the wilds. If you truly do not desire her help after that, simply tell her so.
She could just as easily lead us into Darkspawn, you know?
I could just as easily have left you to them. Morrigan will not fail you.
Mother, this is not how I wanted this. I'm not even ready.
You must be ready. Alone, these two must unite Ferelden against the Darkspawn. They need you, Morrigan. Without you, they will surely fail, and all will perish under the Blight. Even I.
I understand.
And you, Wardens, do you understand? I give you that which I value above all in this world. I do this because you must succeed.
She won't come to harm with us.
Allow me to get my things, if you please. I am at your disposal, Grey Wardens. I suggest a village north of the Wilds as our first destination. 'Tis not far, and you will find much you need there. Or, if you prefer, I shall simply be your silent guide. The choice is yours.
No, I prefer you to speak your mind.
Haha, you will regret saying that.
Dear, sweet mother, you are so kind to cast me out like this. How fondly I shall remember this moment.
Well, I always said, if you want something done, do it yourself. Or hear about it for a decade or two afterwards.
I have no problems with your presence. Magical help would be expedient. Alistair, what do you think?
From the way he glares, I imagine that answer is clear.
Do you really want to take her along because her mother says so?
If you worry that I will summon demons and transform into an abomination, I assure you I will at least wait until you are not looking.
I feel better already.
We need all the help we can get, Alistair.
Allow me to show you out of the forest. After that, send me off if you like. I did not ask to join you.
I hate to say it, but the Grey Wardens have always taken allies where they could find them. We could probably use her somewhat.
I am so pleased to have your approval.
Actually, I had some questions.
I may have answers. Ask.
Tell me about this village to the north.
'Tis a small place of little consequence called Lothering. No more than a stop along your Imperial Highway where travellers purchase goods from local farms and smiths. I would go more often were it not for the town's chantry. It makes the village particularly intolerant and unpleasant for a stranger such as me.
A chantry? And they never in all this time thought that maybe you were a witch?
Of course they have. They even called out their Templars once. They found nothing.
Is there a particular reason to visit this village?
I mention it for its tavern, where travellers gather with news from other places. 'Tis small enough that our appearance might go unnoticed. Beyond that, 'tis close, and I know the way.
How are we going to get past the Darkspawn?
The real question is how we are going to get your friend past the Darkspawn, is it not?
That's true. We can sense the Darkspawn. Conversely, they can sense us.
I don't sense any.
You won't right away. No. It takes time. We should be able to sneak past smaller groups, but larger ones, or particularly intelligent Darkspawn, will always detect us.
Mother has given me something else for them to smell instead as we pass by. 'Tis important we head out of the wilds, however, not farther in.
What skills do you have?
I know a few spells, though I am nowhere near as powerful as Mother. I have also studied history and your Grey Warden treaties.
Can you cook?
I can cook, yes.
Maybe you can substitute for Alistair then.
Right, my cooking will kill us. That's all I meant.
I also know at least 15 different poisons that grow right here in this marsh. Not that I would suggest 'tis at all related to cooking.
Never mind, then.
You missed your chance. Now it's charred rabbit from here on out.
Have you ever been outside the wilds?
From time to time. I have been to the village I mentioned, watched its people, and pondered what curious beings they are. On occasion, I purchased goods from the village merchants. There I spoke with men a little. There they stared and knew me as an outsider. Mother wishes for me to expand the horizon of my experience beyond the wilds. Even she was not born here.
Is that what you want?
What I want is to see mountains. I wish to witness the ocean and step into its waters. I want to experience a city rather than see it in my mind. So, yes, this is what I want. Actually, leaving is harder than I thought, however. Perhaps Mother is right. It must simply be done quickly.
Are you really Flemeth's daughter?
'Twas she who raised me, and thus I consider her my mother, born from her womb or not. 'Tis what you meant, yes?
It's just difficult to imagine her.
Young? Married? Pregnant? Who said she was any of these things? I certainly did not. She would no more tell me than you, I assure you.
She's just going to stay here, all alone.
Mother was alone long before I came, and will be so long after I am dead. Such is her choice, though I suspect she would claim the choice was made for her.
Do you know what happened to the elf that was with us? Ah, a curious thing, the elf who bears your face. I fear she was already gone by the time I arrived. I never said she was a woman, or that she looked like me. It sounds like you knew about her. Maybe so. Destiny is a funny thing. Destiny? The path you walk now is destiny. Would you agree? I don't know. You think she walks her own path? Ha! Her own path. She walks no path at all. She has been unshackled from the chains of destiny. How? The question is not how, child. The question is who. Who broke her chains? Who has the power to change destiny? You call it a question, but I think you already know. Our people have a phrase. Fen Hrel Margalana. It means the dread wolf guides you. The dread wolf? The trickster of elven legend? So I'm guessing that means you think a darker force is at play here. Perhaps. Or perhaps it is your path that is darkness, and she has found the light. Perhaps the true darkness is the slavery that is fate. Do you wish to follow your own path? If my destiny is to end the blight, then yes. Then I suggest you tend to your own path first. Not even fate can protect you, should you choose to act the fool.
Farewell, Mother. Do not forget the stew on the fire. I would hate to return to a burned-down hut.
Bah! 'Tis far more likely you will return to see this entire area, along with my hut, swallowed up by the blight.
All I meant was...
Yes, I know. Do try to have fun, dear.